Hello, this is Tina with Content Creators Club. I'm so excited to talk to you today about kind of like what it feels like, but also what to do if you can't keep up with AI as a knowledge creator. If you are that person who's like, I'm trying to catch up, I'm trying to learn all the tools of copywriting, creating content, all these social media platforms, all those things, but I just simply cannot keep up, and you feel like you're failing or feel like you're lagging behind, then this is the video for you because I'm going to show you not only how to work with AI, but also how to really rethink the way that you create content going forward. So, again, my name is Tina. I help knowledge creators automate their businesses so they can spend less time on social media, avoid burnout, and truly just focus in on your zone of genius. So, I'm really excited to talk about this because this kind of content idea came to me when I was reading kind of a post about like how AI guys are conquering the platform. And it's honestly pretty true. Like, you see a bunch of people just leveraging AI and they're growing crazy fast because they're focusing highly on quantity, and they have killer lead magnets and they have big promises, kind of like that bro hustle marketing, I would say. I'm personally kind of sick of it, but like, it works for some people. Personally, I just don't care for it. But there is something to be said about how is it that they're growing so fast? What are they doing that perhaps you, the knowledge creator, could be doing, right? But how do you do it in a way where you're able to create content that is still authentic to your voice? And I've been like toying around with this idea for a while because it's like, I love AI. It's been something that I install and infuse into my workflows. But one of the things that is important is that I'm also a creator. I love creating content, and I want to leverage AI in ways that actually help me, but don't hinder me, but also make sure that my content still looks good, right? And so we're going to kind of get into that. So, this is again for the people who feel like they're not doing enough, who feel like they kind of like were behind and they were not the early adopter of AI. And really, like, if you feel like because you just can't keep up with the posting, honestly, like, you kind of also maybe feel a little bit like you're not providing enough value to your audience. And those are all true feelings. But I want you to get very clear on this truth. And the truth is that your competitive edge as a knowledge creator and what you do and the content that you put out is not in the quantity of content that you're putting out, but it's in the execution of your ideas, right? And so I really just want to pause here for a moment and tell you this, like, you can create content as much as humanly possible. I know how to do it. All those bro hustler markers know how to do it. It's easy to do it with AI, right? But what AI lacks is the originality of their ideas. And this is where you, as the creator, that's your core focus. It's not your core focus to be putting content all over the internet. You can have AI and automations do that for you. The focus that you should have, the highest ROI or the highest return on time activity that's worth your time, is in your ideation. And so if you can spend more time in ideation, but actually just leverage and become friends with the tools, no code and AI, to help you execute on those ideas faster, that is a better use of your time. And that's what we're going to talk about in a second. Because another truth that's also here is that you unfortunately cannot outwork an AI. I know that they always tell you, maybe you've been told, I've been told this from a young age, of like, you need to work harder. Well, that's actually not the case anymore, especially when you have an AI. You just can't work harder against a large language model, an LLM. You can't do it, right? But how can we work with it so that it can actually have AI work harder for us, but we just work smarter because we're focusing on the execution of the ideas, right? And so, I really want to talk a little bit about like the workflows that you can use with AI, but still feel authentic. That's the very clear thing that I want to mention here, right? And so we're going to talk a little bit about the flow here, but the flow that I usually have, and this is something that you're actually seeing live in action, is if you're creating content and you're trying to figure out like, okay, how can I create content that actually is good, but also like have AI help me create the content as well, then you want to really focus on the flow. So for me, I personally like to talk. I like to do video. I also like to write. I'm pretty much like multifaceted when it comes to creating content. I really like to spend my time in ideas. But in any case, recently I've been spending a lot of time creating videos, such as this one right here, right? And so my video is the source content that I am using for all of the content that I'm posting on social media and distributing to social media. Stay with me here, right? Because my source content is actually original content. And because my original content is the video, all I'm doing is taking this video and saying, hey, I want you to take the transcript from this video as an example, and I want you to create a viral a viral content piece for me that works well on social media. So what I've done is I've worked with Jacob Peggs, great creator. He has this great content templates that I've used. And what I've done essentially is created an automation where I say, hey, AI, take the video, which is the source video, which has my style, the way that I speak, the language, all those things, and create content posts that based on the template that I got, right? So it does it really well. Now, how does this look like from an automations perspective, right? There's two parts that you need in order for this to work. One is you need an area where you actually are storing all your content. And this comes down to the content database piece, right? And so in that content database, you need both ideation, pipeline, and then you need video creation, right? So what does that mean? So what that means is that in the database that I'm using to create all my content, I want to be able to have a tab or area where like I could just like throw all my ideas on the page, right? Doesn't have to be great ideas, doesn't have to be bad ideas. It just needs to be a place where like I can store all my ideas. And so we have a newsletter database. It's $9. Literally, like it does all this. And so all I do is I just put my ideas in the pipeline for me to refer at a later time. Once when I actually have the ideas down and they're ready to go, what I do is I just simply create videos. I just riff on them, right? So this is an example right here. My idea for this video was actually like talking to that person who feels like they're behind on AI. And the idea was that I want to talk to that person, but also show them how like you can compete. You just need to have AI be your friend instead, right? And so what I do is like I create a video, which you see right here. And then what's going to happen after this video, once when I'm done creating it, I'm actually going to put it into the following workflow that you see here, right? So once when the video is ready, I put it in the workflow where the video is all good to go. It's uploaded. And then I say, hey, I take this template that I got from Jacob Peggs as an example, and I want you to create my social media content. And the second thing is I want you to take this template that I have gathered. We have a hooks library. If you join the newsletter, you might get a special gift. Hint, hint, right? But I have this hooks library and I say, hey, AI, I want you to create a hook based on the video that I just shared with you, right? And then I want you to update the database. So this content and this content goes back to the database where all my content is stored. And then the only thing that I need to do is review my work, right? Anything that's in a dotted line is what I do. But it really pretty much, when you look at the results of it, it gets it 80% there. And it's actually pretty damn good. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk you through a real world example on like how it actually looks like in action. And then I'm going to actually just show you exactly that. So if you want to know the tools, if you want to know the AI prompts, all those things, and then definitely comment tools, and I'll send you not only like the tools that I use for this workflow, but also I'm going to show you the tools that I use for many other workflows. You're going to literally have like a whole library, and it's actually pretty damn cool. Like, and I wish I had this, but I'm giving it to you. So in any case, yeah, totally free. Go ahead, grab that. And then if you are looking for strategy support community, being able to ask those questions, then feel free to consider joining us in Leverage Creator. This is exactly what we're doing for that. So let's kind of go ahead and go into this real world example. All right, so this is the real world example. This is my newsletter database. It will look a little bit different than when you buy it, right? Because I've added things, I've customized it to myself. But one of the things that I love about my newsletter database is that I have two tabs. I have an idea pipeline where I actually just like share all my ideas, whether they're good or bad or ugly, right? Or great. I just put them in here as just a way for me to reference. And then I have my newsletter hub where I actually can see things on a visual basis, and I can see like my content on a calendar and all that stuff. And then it's color coded based on the stage that it's at, things like that. And then when I'm ready to actually create the content, all I do is just add a record, choose the idea that I want to have, and then we're all good to go. Actually, let us do this. Yeah, no. Okay, so this is an example right here. As you can see, I'm working on this idea right here. So what's going to happen after I'm done creating this video, I'll show you an example of a finished product that I have, that just needs to go through an editing phase, honestly. Is that like I previously created a video. Only thing that I do, truly the only thing I do, is I just upload this video, and then the tool that I use to record these videos, which you'll also know when you get, the tools, comment tools, and I'll send it to you, is AI automatically generates the description for me, and I'm able to pull the transcripts, literally just copy and paste. And then when that's done, I choose the templates because it's hooked up to my database because I created it that way. And then look at that. It creates my actual newsletter name. It creates the content. So I have like a source where like when I look at like this content, I'm just like, actually, it doesn't sound too bad. Like it sounds pretty much like me. All I have to do going forward is just like edit it, tweak it, and then it's good to go. And then it's ready to be scheduled, right? But what is it that I do in order to be able to get like this and this? Well, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need like our hooks library. Again, hint, hint, it might be in the newsletter. You might want to grab it. And another thing is I have content templates. Now, I did not create those content templates. I work with a person to help me get this. So anyways, what we're going to do is this is the workflow. This is how it actually all functions together. So when the content is ready, and when I say ready, what that means is when the content has like the video, the transcript, all the things that it needs in order to actually work, I actually trigger this automation where it's like, okay, this new record's ready to go. And then I say, hey, AI, I need you to take the template that I picked, and I need you to take the transcript of this video, and I need you to create the content for me and do it in a way that works well with this template. And same thing for the hooks. And then it updates the record. And then you can see it actually did exactly that. Like, seriously, like you can see. Let's see, it made edits to the record. Let's see, show more. Let's see. All right, we got a lot of steps here. Yeah, because I just copied and pasted. Right, cool. You see that I edited this record using Zapier integrations, which is the workflow that I have right here. So all there is to say is that if you are thinking to yourself, God, I cannot compete with all those AI LinkedIn people, what they do really well is they have tools like this in the background create the quantity of content on their behalf, right? But what you need to know is that you are the originator of the ideas that come to you, right? And so at that point, it's like you need to ask yourself, how can I execute my ideas faster? How can I get my content out there faster? Well, just create, like literally just build a workflow like this. Join us on Leverage Creator and we'll show you how to do that, give you all the prompts and all that stuff. And that's pretty much it. You install this, and then from that point on, you can get your time back, but you can focus majority of your energy on the ideation of the content that you're creating. So that's all I have. Feel free to comment tools, and I'll send you the tools database that I have for all the automations that I work on. And if you feel like it's a good fit, join us in Leverage Creator. We'd be happy to have you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!